So hackers breached Reddit to steal their source code as well as internal data. Let's check it out. What's up guys, it's Josh back with another video, and today I got some more cyber news. If you're new here, go down and hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. I definitely appreciate it. I try to do these stories that happen, every single week, especially if they're dealing with some form of cybersecurity or tech in general. But today I ran across an article and it's dealing with the organization Reddit. And if you never heard of Reddit, if you've been living under a rock or so, Reddit is a blog style platform that people post and share information, and everything is separated by what they call subreddits, and it's basically a way for people to create something based on a topic and allow people to conversate on that topic within the platform on Reddit. And it's a super cool platform because a lot of people share a bunch of information on there, and you can share things anonymous. It's a super cool platform. I go to it to look at subreddits that deal with like certifications or in things in tech in general and Linux and all that stuff, different types of topics or different subreddits that I'm following. And so it looks like they're the next organization that has been breached. And let's go down and hop over to the article so we can read a little bit about what happened. Now, just so you guys know, this article was released last week, so I'm a little behind on my cyber news that I try to do, but it says hacker breach Reddit to steal source code as well as the internal data. And this article was released on February 9th, 2023. So like I said, a couple days ago, last week. And it states Reddit suffered a cyber attack Sunday evening, allowing hackers to access internal business systems and steal internal documents and source code. Now, this is going to be a very interesting article because you'll see that the person that got hacked was someone that worked in the tech field, and this person had specific credentials that allowed the attackers to gain elevated access to the system. And so let's read a little more, but it says the company says the hacker used a phishing lure targeting Reddit employees, and that's specifically what they went after. They went after Reddit employees with a landing page impersonating its intranet site. Now, that's one cool thing right there that they did. I'm not sure how they were able to know what that intranet site looked like, because most of the time an intranet site is not accessible outside of the local network of the organization. And so that's kind of interesting. How did they know what the intranet site looked like in order to impersonate it? And how did they know what they were using? Like an intranet site, for example, is SharePoint. That's something that I've used at a lot of organizations that have a Windows platform. They'll set up a SharePoint site with internal documents, internal information, about the network or about the organization, just different things, because most of the time the internet site is broken up depending on departments and all that stuff. So it's crazy how they were able to figure out which one to actually use, because it's a couple of them out there. You know what I'm saying? It says this site attempted to steal employees' credentials and two-factor authentication tokens. So that's crazy as well, how deep they went with it. But it says after one employee fell victim to the phishing attack, the threat actor was able to breach internal Reddit systems and to steal data and source code. I wish they showed us which one or which intranet site they had. Was it a custom one? Was it SharePoint or something? It doesn't really say, but it says after successfully obtaining a single employee's credentials, and this is the quote right here, it says the attackers gained access to some internal docs code as well as some internal dashboards and business systems, explains Reddit in their security incident notice. And let's go down and click there so we can see exactly what Reddit said. I wonder what intranet site do they have? and it might take too long to actually look into this, so I'll just leave that link down in the description as well, so you guys can kind of see. But this is them, you know, putting it out there, and this was 6 days ago from Reddit, and this is the subreddit of Reddit. So let's get back to the article. But it says, we show no indication of breach of our primary production system, the ports of our stack that run Reddit and store the majority of our data. Okay, all right, so at least they didn't see any indications of them getting into their production systems. It's just mainly that, I guess, that internet site and dashboard, internal dashboards and stuff like that. Is what they got to. But it says Reddit says they learned of the breach after the employee self-reported the incident to the company, and I wonder how long it took him to wait. I mean, it took him to report this. But that's cool that he actually, you know, self-reported the incident to the company. He obviously knew that he made a mistake and reported it up so they can contain the breach. So I'm not sure, and the reason I say I wonder how long it took him, because they got access to some stuff, you know what I'm saying? I know it doesn't take too long, it all depends on the internet speed, but you can gather a lot of information, let's say in a couple of hours or so, or a day. You can grab a whole bunch of information in like a day if it's like 24 hours or so. So I was just curious on how long it took for him to let them know. But it says, after investigating the incident, Reddit says the stolen data included limited contact info for company contacts and current and former employees. It says the data also includes some details about companies' advertisers, but credit card information, passwords, and ad performance was not accessed. So that's good. At least, you know, some of that pertinent information wasn't accessed. Now, but they do know what companies advertise with them, so that's not good. But it says Reddit also says that there are no indications that the threat actors were able to breach production systems used to run the website. Yeah, and that's what it said up here. While Reddit has not shared any details regarding the phishing attack, they referenced a similar attack used to breach Riot Games. And so if you guys haven't, you know, heard about this hack, I believe I covered it a while back, and this is basically Riot Games hacked, you know, the latest game patches after security breaches. And I remember this one. I may not have covered it, but this happened early January, so just so you guys know. But it says, in that attack, threat actors breached Riot Games and stole source code from League of Legends. I remember that. Multiplayer online battle arena. And I don't think I covered this, because I definitely would have you know, talked about League of Legends, because that's one of my like favorite games that I used to play a whole bunch. But League of Legends is super fun. But it says the team fight tactics auto battler game and a legacy anti-cheat platform. Okay, so that's interesting. But it says the game company later received and refused a $10 million ransom demand for the data not to be leaked. And yeah, I do remember a little bit about this. I think I read it, but I just didn't cover it. But it says the hacker later attempted to auction the source for League of Legends for $10 million on a hacker forum. So that's crazy. I don't think anybody paid that, you know what I'm saying, unless it was a competing business or something like that, and they had the funds to play around with it. But that's crazy right there. Now it says Bleeping Computer has contacted Reddit with further questions, but a reply was not immediately available. So this was an interesting article, you know what I'm saying? It's super crazy to see that these phishing attacks actually work, you know what I'm saying? And that's why training is super important for your organization. So anybody that has access or specific access, administrative access on your system, they need to understand, you know, what to click on, what not to click on, and just make sure they're not putting their credentials into anything that doesn't look right. And this goes for the whole company in general. And that's why a lot of companies, especially companies I work for, you know, as a tech guy, we always had some form of annual training just to make sure we understand what to look for and to prevent these types of phishing attacks on our network. But I hope you guys enjoy the video. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. If you have any questions or comments, go down and leave them down in the comments below. I always like to hear you guys' thoughts, especially when it comes to these types of articles. But I hope you have a wonderful and productive day, and of course, keep it techie.